In Dune Part One, Duncan Idaho died saving Paul Atreides. He took down 19 Sardaukar by himself before going down. It was one of the most beloved scenes in the film. In Dune Part 3, he's back. But the Duncan Idaho who shows up in the new trailer isn't really Duncan Idaho. He has a different name, he has different eyes, and he was built specifically to destroy Paul. This is Hayt. Let me explain. To understand what's happening, you need to know about a faction called the Tleilaxu. We didn't meet them in parts 1 or 2, but they're going to be a central part of part 3. The Tleilaxu are a secretive society of bioengineers in the Dune universe. The rest of the Imperium thinks they're disgusting because they do things nobody else will do. Their entire civilization is built around growing things in tanks, specifically things called axolotl tanks. We don't need to get into how these tanks work in this video, just trust me. What matters is what they grow. The Tleilaxu specialize in 2 creations: face dancers, who can shapeshift into anyone, and Gholas. A Ghola is not a clone. It's important to get this distinction right. A clone is grown from living cells. A Ghola is grown from the cells of someone who has already died. The Tleilaxu take cells from corpse, regrow the body in their tanks, and produce a person who looks exactly like the deceased, but has none of their memories. A Ghola is a blank slate. Same body, no soul. The Tleilaxu can then condition that blank slate however they want. Implant skills, train them in specific disciplines, even give them mental abilities the original never had. Which brings us to Hayt. After Duncan died on Arrakis, somehow, and the book is deliberately vague about how, the Tleilaxu got their hands on his body. They grew him in a tank, they gave him all the swordsmanship of the original Duncan Idaho, and they did something extra. They trained him as a mentat. Mentats are humans who function like computers. In the Dune universe, after the Butlerian Jihad, computers were banned. So humans who can do what computers do become enormously valuable. Duncan was a great fighter. Hayt is a great fighter and a mentat. He's not just Duncan rebuilt, he's Duncan upgraded. The Tleilaxu named him Hayt. In the book it's spelled Hayt, but it's pronounced like Hayt, and that's deliberate. Now, here's where it gets dark. Hayt isn't a kindness to Paul. He's a weapon. The Tleilaxu are a part of a conspiracy to bring Paul Atreides down. They're working with the Bene Gesserit, the Spacing Guild, and Princess Aurelian, and their contribution to this plan is Hayt. The plan is psychological. They give Paul this gift, the perfect recreation of his dead best friend, knowing he won't be able to refuse, knowing he'll keep Hayt close, knowing every time Paul looks at this person, he'll be reminded of everything he's lost. Every time Hayt acts slightly off or slightly wrong or slightly just not Duncan, it will chip away at Paul's mind. And that's the surface level plan. The deeper plan involves a hidden trigger inside of Hayt's conditioning that we'll save for when the movie comes out. The most heartbreaking part of all this, Paul knows. Paul is prescient. He can see the future. He knows Hayt is a trap. He knows the Tleilaxu are trying to destabilize him, and he accepts the gift anyway, because he misses his friend that much. This is the kind of choice that defines Dune Messiah as a story. It's not about good versus evil. It's about a man who can see every consequence of every decision and still makes the human choice, the wrong choice, because the alternative is too painful to live with. When Part 3 drops, watch how Villeneuve handles the relationship between Paul and Hayt. The book treats it as one long, slow tragedy. Every conversation is loaded. Every moment Paul looks at this man and doesn't see his friend is a small, wound. Jason Momoa is back in the role with those silver, almost white eyes that signal a Ghola in the Dune universe. Based on the trailer footage, the visual design alone is going to be unsettling. Hayt is one of the most thematically loaded characters that Frank Herbert ever wrote. He's a meditation on grief, identity, the cost of trying to recover what's been lost. If Villeneuve gets him right, he's going to be the emotional core of Part 3. So that's Hayt. If you want a full breakdown of the Dune Part 3 trailer, check out my channel. I've got a longer video covering every reference in detail. Subscribe for more deep dives on the Dune universe and other sci-fi and fantasy stuff worth talking about. And I'll see you in the next one.